Hey, do you wear glasses? As a kid, I never wore them. Didn't know I needed them. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But at a certain point, I went in for an eye check and they said, whoa, your vision's terrible. You definitely need glasses. And the glasses I needed weren't horribly large or thick or anything, pretty moderate lens. But I was at an event a little while ago and someone was presenting, and it's been a while, but I wish I could remember who it was, but they shared a really interesting concept. They took and brought out a pair of their wife's glasses. And their wife's glasses, very specific prescription. And they said, when I try and wear my wife's glasses, it doesn't work. It doesn't help me. I don't see clearly. I don't understand. I don't have any clue what I'm supposed to be seeing. It doesn't work for me. And even me, with my prescription, if I turn my glasses around, it's not going to work. Each eye is individual, and the glasses I wear are individual to my eyes. Now, what does all this have to do with business? It has everything to do with being a business owner or chasing your vision. As a business owner, we have an idea of where we're trying to get to and the way we think things could work. And if we go out and we start sharing that vision with other people, some people will be supportive, some people will tear us down, but very rarely will it work for us when we're first trying to explain our vision to be able to take our glasses off and say, here, take a look. Look at this. See what I see. When they put them on, whoa, I don't see anything like you're seeing. And they don't get it because it's your glasses. So when you're going to share your vision with others, there's a few rules of thumb. One of them is be cautious who you're going to share your vision with. When you take those glasses off to put on someone else, make sure there's someone else that will be supportive of you and of what you're trying to create. If you're not, you may end up creating more headache and frustration for you and for them than if you didn't share your vision to begin with. The second is, if you're going to share your vision with them, oftentimes it doesn't work to share it from your prescription or your perspective. What you've got to do is you have to try and figure out what's their vision. How do they see the world? What is it they're trying to do in the world? And then you have to describe it in terms that they're going to recognize. Because if you describe it in terms only you recognize, it doesn't make sense to them. They have to have the vision given to them in a way that they can see it. You have to give it to them in their prescription, not in your prescription. But then that's another important point to recognize is when you're wearing your glasses, you're going to see the world clearly and you're going to have an idea of what you're supposed to be doing. Now, if you try and put on someone else's glasses, you're probably not going to see as clearly as you do when you wear your own. So if you're going out and you're trying to live everyone else's vision for your life, but you're not living your own vision for your life, it's going to have a negative effect on you because you're not living up to what you could and should be doing. So, a few ideas for you in regards to vision. One, we each have our own specific prescription that lets us see the world clearly. Two, not everybody's going to see the same thing the same way. Three, if you're going to share your vision with others, be cautious who you share it with. Four, make sure that you share your vision with them in a way that they're going to understand, not just in the way that you see the world. And then five, be cautious of wearing someone else's prescription to try and see the vision and live their vision, because that's not what you were meant for. You were meant to live your vision. So what is your vision? Oftentimes as business owners, we will go out and we'll try and set up a company. We want to do things our own way. We want to help the world in our own way. We want to accomplish things that others can't accomplish. And so that all is part of that vision. Now, what most business owners don't do is they don't spend enough time understanding what their vision is. So I would invite you to grab a piece of paper and you're going to write across the top, my vision. And then you're going to set that piece of paper down and just stare at it for a few minutes. Don't write anything down. Just stare at it for a few minutes and just think, what are some aspects of my vision? What are some aspects of my purpose? What's some different aspects of what I hope to do, accomplish, be, maybe ways I want to play, whatever it is, think about it for a couple minutes and then start writing out all the ideas that are coming to you. And don't stop. Give yourself enough time that you can get creative with this. And then, once you've had enough time to get creative, and you've written down everything till your brain's exhausted, and even if you're writing down things that may seem really stupid, because you're going to have internal conflicts on whether you should write these things down or not, write them down anyway. Tell that side of the brain that says it's stupid, yeah, you're right, it's stupid, I'll take it off later if I want to. Thank you for helping me. And then you just keep going and going and going, writing it all down. And then you're going to get a new paper, and you're going to consolidate the ones that are most important. And you're going to keep the first one and then transfer over the things that are the most important for you to be able to recognize what your vision is, what your purpose is, what your hopes and dreams and goals are. And then from that, you can start breaking down and figuring out the actual direction you want to go in life. If you don't do these kinds of steps, and maybe not this same process, but some kind of process like this, what I've seen is business owners and individuals will go through their whole life just kind of bumping along and not really having any direction. And you just kind of float around in the ocean, tossed by the waves. But when you have those goals, the vision, it's like having a rudder and having either a motor propelling you or having the wind pushing you. But either way, you're going to be making progress in a specific direction. And even if you can't accomplish everything, when you're not just spinning in circles and you're actually heading in a direction, your life has a lot more purpose, a lot more happiness. People want to be around you more because you're more exciting to be around as an individual. You have things that you're trying to do and they want to hear about it, and you're going to make the world so much better place. Everything about life gets better when you know your prescription, your vision, your purpose.